right, welcome back to our video series on creating a data analyzer for COVID-19. Um, so after I finished recording the last video, it occurred to me that, I'm using in our get model method here, we are using, starting from 30 days out, but then I'm predicting starting from day 0, right? So I wouldn't exactly expect this model, which is starting from day 0 essentially, and say we're starting with 1 and then 2 and then 2 and then 4 and then 5. I wouldn't actually expect that to line up very closely with our actual data at all. So to demonstrate that, though, I think what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and instead of just printing this, I'm gonna go ahead and return this list of predictions. Right. Return this list of predictions. And then here inside of my plot, so we can I want to plot the points, and then I'm going to plot our prediction with it, so we can kind of compare to see how good of a fit it is, which again, it's not a good fit at all right now. But inside a plot here, I'm going to go ahead and have it predict, right? So we know that when we create our COVID data, it generates the model. So next I'm going to have this plot. In addition to plotting the actual data, I'm also going to have it generate a prediction list. So I'm going to call it print list equals self.predict. That's just inside of my plot. So y, remember, is the actual data. All right, y is the actual data. And x is the index, 0 up through the number of days here, right? And so what I'm going to do is we're going to predict num days, right? So that'll be however many days this gets put in. Okay, and so then we're going to plot x, y, but then I'm also going to plot x pred list. Right, so this should show the actual data as red circles, and then it should show the predicted list as a connected line behind it. Okay, so let's just see what happens if we plot out 60 days. And there we go. All right, so CR. Okay, now that being said, we can see we have this exponential curve. This is the predicted, and notice the real numbers are way, way lower. They're way lower. Okay, and again, this is because we're taking into account starting from day 0 in our model, but really our model is like skipping the first 30 days. So what we really want to do here is we want our model to kind of just skip ahead to the days that kind of match with where we would expect. In other words, when we do our model, day 0 isn't really day 0. It's like day 30. Okay. So how do we do that? Well, that's a good question, and that's what we're going to figure out in this video. So the first thing I think I want to do is we don't necessarily want to show all 60 days of real data. Okay. In other words, let's see what happens if can we cut off the first 30 days. All right. So kind of like what we did here. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to make this start at day 30. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to predict num days minus 30. All right, which means it's going to actually be predicting like 30 days out. Okay, now let's just see what this looks like. Ah, there we are. Okay. Now, again, remember the red dots are reality, the blue line is our model. So what have we done here? Well, we've cut off that first 30 days of data, which is, again, is like January 22nd through February 22nd, roughly, right? And then around the 23rd, that's when we actually start seeing it change a little bit. And so that's when we're actually seeing that real exponential growth, when we started testing and things like that. Okay. So now we actually do have our data that fits our model. Okay. Now, right here, this 30, I don't like just putting 30 everywhere because I'm going to forget what the heck 30 is. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to come up here. I'm going to make a global constant up at the top here, kind of like I did CSV file name. And I'm going to put this start at, right? So I'm going to make it start at. So this, and I'm even going to put a comment here for myself because I will forget why. So this is starting date for model and starting day number for model and prediction. Okay, so every place where I said 30, right, number of days minus start at. So start at days. Start at. And that should be good. Okay. Let's run this again, make sure I didn't break anything. Okay, cool. All right, so now we have a model that seems to be fitting our data, at least visually. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. We'll go ahead and stop there. In our next video, we'll compare numerically, and then we'll use this model to make some predictions. So notice that right now our predict doesn't actually predict anything. It's just looking basically in the past. So it'd be nice to be able to like use, maybe predict isn't the best name for this method. I don't know. But be able to use our model that we have and make some predictions to see what future dates might look like. Okay, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.